Right, I'm actually recording this session on the lecture capture machine. So this is a really quick session to look at resetting your Moodle course. Why would you want to reset your Moodle course? If you're using the same Moodle course year on year, and you go into your gradebook, for instance, you might find that you've got all these previous years of students in there, 2021, 19, 20. And the reason these haven't been removed is we don't actually have sufficient data to know who wants to keep things and who doesn't. So we could arbitrarily reset every Moodle course, but I would guarantee that there'd be a problem because people are actually using things right now. And the thing about resetting is, if you're coming to a unit fresh and it's a new one and you're just going to deliver it for the first time, you don't need to worry about resetting. But if you're using this Moodle course year on year, then it'd be a good idea to go in and reset. And we should really have addressed this before, but we just never have. And we used to do things automatically, and then we used to get kind of problems from doing that. So I've got an example course here, Hypermathematics. Bonus points if you get the nerdy reference. And if you go to, you don't actually need to turn editing on in your course to do this. You just use your course editing cog, and you'll see there's all these options that come up. Now, if you look in your participants list, I have to log in again, excuse me. In your participants list, you'll see you've got students. You'll also have some groups that have been automatically created for you, whether you like it or not. I'll just have a wee look in the in users. If we go into more here, under users, groups, I've got a test group in here, and I've got 2 students in it. And imagine that there was more than one and they were all the previous years and you want rid of them. This is one thing that the reset will do. Also, you'll have all these old assessment submissions for previous years. And if you're worried about losing any of that, don't be, because on the 10th of July, the entire LearnNet site was archived, and it is every year. So if you need to get last year's work for a student, all you need to do is come and talk to us, and we'll get it for you. So reasons not to reset a course. If you have students currently using a Moodle course and they're actively uploading assessments and things like that, don't reset it, because you'll get rid of all that stuff. So this is really people who are coming to a course that they use year on year. Your students haven't done anything yet, and you want to have a clean slate. You want to get rid of all these groups and all the participants. So in this cog drop down, you just go to the reset option. Now, this is quite a complicated page, so we'll just quickly go through the bits. Don't worry about the start and end dates, because we really don't use those. I would say in this first section here, delete events, notes. Even if you don't use these things, just delete them anyway, because as I said before, the entire site's been archived, so nothing will be lost if you really need anything. Moving on to roles, this is probably the most important list. You need to find student and choose nothing but student here, because if you choose any of the other roles, you'll do things like remove core pack creators and remove all the other roles that have been set in your course, and all you really want to do is remove all the students. And definitely don't delete all local role assignments, because that will get rid of everything. Core pack creators, verifiers, everybody. So in that list, just choose student and then move on. In the gradebook, delete all the items and categories. And what that'll do is any assessment submissions that students have made, there's files all sitting there from previous years, that'll all be cleared out. And in the next section, in groups, just delete all groups and groupings. It's important to choose both of those, because groupings and groups work together. Yeah, deleting all groups. Now, you might think, well, the groups have already been created for 22, 23, so if you delete these groups, they'll be gone. And that's true, but 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, they'll be recreated, so there's actually no need to worry about it. It seems counterintuitive to delete things that are current in this case, but it's fine because overnight they'll be recreated. If you use forums, now don't delete the posts if the forums are like handy hints and frequently asked questions. You can leave those, but if a forum's something that you use year on year and you're asking the same questions and getting different responses, then clear those. Then if you happen to use lessons, I know some people do, just delete everything. Then, moving on to Turnitin, I've actually recorded this session before, but my advice has changed since the last time I recorded it, because I did suggest that in Turnitin, you replace the Turnitin assignments parts and reuse the Turnitin classes, but I've found that this isn't actually working properly. So the advice now is you must create new Turnitin assignments each year. The reason for that is, as Turnitin assignments get older, the due dates and the post dates become in the past. And if you've ever had submissions to an assignment that the post date is in the past, you'll find that the students have access to feedback instantly, even if there isn't any, and it's really problematic. So I would say ignore this part of the reset screen because it doesn't really do anything. Once you've done your reset, go and create new Turnitin assignments and either hide or delete the old ones. You're fine to delete them because the whole site's been archived anyway, so we can get things back out of last year's Turnitins if we have to. And if all you do is hide them, at least the students won't see them, and that's fine. Create a brand new Turnitin assignment for every one you used to have. Now, the bit at the bottom here that says not implemented, there's a good reason for that. That's core packs, and we don't want anyone resetting anything in core packs, so we haven't implemented that. You can just ignore it. Finally, if you click reset course, you might have to wait a minute or two for this, especially if it's a big course when it's had a lot of students and a lot of assessment submissions and things like that. Resetting is not a quick thing because it's got a lot of work to do. In fact, I had to wait maybe 30 seconds once, and there you can see, you get a summary of everything that's happened. Core packs not implemented, continue, and we should find that in the participants list, our 2 students are gone, so the groups will be gone and any submissions that they made. And then where I've got a Turnitin assignment here, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch on editing, I'm going to delete that Turnitin, and I'm going to create a brand new one. And that's us ready to go for the session.